guys, I hope you're having a really lovely Sunday, or whenever you're watching this video, I hope you're having a good day. I've got a question to ask you. Do you think you're lucky? Are you a lucky person or an unlucky person? Let me know in the comments below. I think I'm a bit in the middle. I don't think I'm lucky necessarily, but I also don't think I'm unlucky. I'm a bit of a mixed bag, which I'm imagining is what most people are going to say. Also, how would you describe luck? I was thinking about this. I have to say this is a really interesting subject. If you hadn't already guessed from the title and thumbnail, we're talking about how to become a luckier equestrian. And it has really got me having a lot of discussions with my friends about luck and whether it is something you earn, whether it's just like fate, it's just something that happens. Sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not lucky. I was trying to think of when I put in like luck as a word into like everyday equestrian life, or you know, like you're out hacking and you have like a near miss where you nearly end up on the deck and you don't. You're like, that's lucky. Like that's when I use the word lucky in my life. But I guess it's good fortune, isn't it? Good fortune. Somebody that always seems to, you know, just be achieving all their goals, and they seem to be just lucky in life. You know, they seem to get all the right opportunities and choose the right decisions, and they have a lot of good luck. It's an interesting topic, so I got onto it because I was watching another YouTuber's video, and their title was how to become luckier in 2023. And of course I was like, well, I'm going to watch this because why wouldn't I want to become luckier? So this is where it started, and it led me to reading the book by Professor Richard Wiseman called The Luck Factor. He is a professor of psychology. He did a research into lucky and unlucky people to see if, you know, do lucky people have a lot of similar traits? Is it something that we can teach? Can you become luckier? And it is such an interesting study. So if you want to read the book, like I said, it's called The Luck Factor. So Professor Richard Wiseman came up with 4 main kind of principles of luck, and if you can incorporate these into your life a little bit, then hopefully it's going to expose you to more opportunities of luck and sort of just give you slightly higher chances of becoming a luckier person. Now, I'm relating this to the equestrian industry and our sport, but to be honest, this all relates perfectly to just everyday life as well. You can become more lucky in all parts of your life, but for the equestrian industry, you know, I'm thinking this could be a great way for grooms, riders, trainers, or even just people who really enjoy their sport to become that little bit luckier in 2023. Well, that's the aim anyway, and I am going along with it too, and I promise you it's really interesting, and there's a lot of things that I kind of really highlighted to me that I thought, oh my goodness, I don't do this. Maybe this is why I'm not lucky, or certainly not as lucky as I'd like to be. First up is maximising your chance opportunities, and this means being more sociable. When you're at competitions, it's really good to talk to people, even if they're strangers. The first thing is, if you're at a horse show, you've all got one thing in common. You're probably quite like horses. And by talking to people at these shows, you never know what might come of it. So maybe you're in the collecting ring watching some people do a round or two. Maybe you're waiting to get a burger and you're in the line. Chat to people, because you never know what it might bring along. It could end up being that you meet somebody who lives locally to you and wants to do joint lessons. It might happen to meet somebody who's looking for a new groom and you're looking for a new job. You just never know, but you have to be sociable and be friendly. There's actual research that shows that people that are lucky in life generally are very approachable, very friendly and very sociable. So we just need to get chatting more. I actually have 2 stories where this if you can hear that noise in the background, it's a deer and it's barking, or whatever deers do, whatever deer noises it makes, that's the shouting in the background. I actually have 2 stories that I know completely where being sociable paid off, and if we hadn't have talked to these people, it would never have happened. So the first one is, I went cross-country schooling with somebody, and we were parked up and we were getting ready to go out. There was a lorry parked next to us, and we started talking to them and, you know, chatting as you do. And it turned out that the horse that they were cross-country schooling was for sale. And it happened that the people I was with were looking for a new horse. And you can kind of guess what happened. If we hadn't chatted to them, we wouldn't have known this horse was for sale. This horse wasn't even advertised yet. We ended up, after, you know, trying and everything, it ended up being bought by these people. It turned out to be an amazing horse as well. But if we had not been friendly and chatted to these people, we would never have known that horse was going to be coming up for sale. We probably would have never got there in time to have seen it and brought it. It was like one of those chance, lucky opportunities that all took place because we were friendly. Another lovely story that just really highlights the importance of being friendly when we're at competitions and just what it might lead further down the line to is that a dressage rider who competed up to a really high level was being really friendly and sociable to the lorry park next to them, just chatting to them. They were a mother and daughter who were not that experienced in dressage, and so this good dressage rider was, just helping them out, explaining things, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, about a year down the line, this family, mother-daughter, the daughter decided she no longer wanted to compete, but they wanted to see this horse continue in dressage, and they wanted to find a rider for it. And they had not forgotten just how lovely this dressage rider was to them, just how friendly they were. And so this top dressage rider actually ended up with the ride, and this horse ended up being amazing. But it was simply through being friendly that a year or so down the line, she ended up with another horse to her string. And like I say, just because of some kind words. Lastly, in this first principle of luck, be outgoing, be open to opportunities. I'm naturally very shy, as I said, and I am absolutely awful for taking up opportunities, mainly because I get a bit nervous and I think, I don't want to, so I don't do it. But there's so many missed chances for not going and doing things. So be brave, put your big brave pants on and take up opportunities when they're offered to you. Have a go, be outgoing so that you get to experience things, and like you say, you never know what might come of them. Number 2 on the luck principles is trusting your gut, trusting your intuition. Lucky people are particularly good at making good decisions in life because they listen to their gut. And this is not something that's just flimsy and they just go, we just always listen to my gut, nothing else. They take it really seriously. So they really, if they have a gut feeling or an intuition feeling that's telling them that something's not right, they will really take this and then they will try and work out why they're getting that feeling and why they're being told or warned of something. And they will do things to help boost this. So they'll do things like meditation. If they have had a strong gut feeling that something's not right, they might take themselves off to a quiet place and try and just have a moment to try and understand where this feeling is coming from. And I guess getting more in touch with your inner self can really help. But there's been so many situations, I bet we've all got many stories where our gut has told us something is not right and we've ignored it, carried on, and it's ended up being an absolute disaster, and you just think, damn it, I should have just listened to my gut. And it can happen both ways. It doesn't always have to be something negative. It can be something positive too, like an opportunity might arise and maybe you feel a bit nervous about it, or maybe you're just not confident enough, but like that inside you, it's going, take this, it's a good opportunity, and yet you're just not brave enough to do it, and you don't listen to your gut and you don't take that opportunity, and then further down the line you realize you missed out on something really good. I think that happens as well. But yeah, lucky people are very good at listening to their gut, listening to their intuition, taking it very seriously, and making great decisions because of it. Gut feelings are surprisingly accurate, so don't ignore them. Process what you're being told and try and understand the warning and take note of it. Hopefully then we'll end up making lots of very good and lucky decisions in our life. Number 3 in the principles of luck is to expect good fortune. Lucky people genuinely believe that their luck is going to continue throughout their life and that they are lucky. And I think when you have this positive kind of feeling that you believe you're that lucky in life, it does bring you luck because you notice it far more. I found this really lovely quote that I think sums it up so perfectly, and that is, no one is luckier than him who believes in his own luck. And that is so true. Lucky people also attempt to achieve their goals, even if their chances of success are very, very slim, because they will persevere in the face of failure. And I think this is important. However big your goal is, you've got to still keep working towards it. It's all, and I hate this word so much, but it's all part of the journey. And for me, I'd love to be a Grand Prix dressage rider. That's high up on my goal list. The chance of me getting there, very unlikely. But that doesn't mean I give up on it, because if I gave up on it, then there'd be no hope of me ever getting there. But it's better that I worked towards it and I kept, gaining knowledge and meeting new people and all that maybe one day it might just happen, because at least I put the work in there to try and get there. If I never did and never really believed I was going to make it, then I won't. So lucky people keep working towards their goals. They believe that they're lucky and that they might just get there. And another thing is they have faith in themselves. They truly believe that they are lucky and that they believe they can achieve the things they want to achieve. And that's important. You've got to believe you can do it. That's absolutely vital. And finally, number 4 on the principles of luck is turning bad luck into good. Now, let's be honest, if you work with horses or own horses, then you'll have had a fair amount of good and bad luck. It's sort of part of the parcel with them, isn't it? And sometimes it can be really hard to shake off bad luck and not dwell on it. I'm the sort of person that wants to drown myself in chocolate, and I love dwelling on things for too long. And it doesn't do you any good. It just kind of makes you feel very doom and gloom for a while. And in this sort of studies that was done, it was found that lucky people are so much better at sort of just, accepting that they're having a bit of bad luck, and they kind of move on quite quickly from it. And they also truly believe that they are going to come back into good luck, which obviously is a good thing. Lucky people believe that any bad luck in their life will, in the long run, work out for the best. So they always have a positive outlook, which again is super hard to do sometimes when you're feeling like you're having a run of bad luck. But they truly believe that either that they're going to learn from the bad luck, or that their bad luck will change. And they are pretty good at transforming bad luck into good. So they see the positives in things. And I think this is something that is really important, is that whenever you're having some like rotten luck and feeling like life's a bit tough, try to find the positives in there. And quite often there is, not always, but quite often there is. And actually this is something I think is really interesting, is that if you think back to when you've had some real bad luck, try and see if you can change it around. And I've done this. So for example, last year, I've said this before, but I thought 2022 for me, it was a bit rubbish. It was a bit of a bad luck kind of year. Lots of financial payouts that I had to do. The dog was ill, I had the vet out loads. I was off with broken bones and all things like that. And I tried to look back over that and see if I could change any of those situations that I felt was bad luck into good. And one of them was being that when I was off healing, I started my little Etsy shop up. I was selling vintage and antique stock pins. Now, I would not have done that if I wasn't off. If I carried on working like normal, I wouldn't have had the time for it, and it wouldn't have happened. So actually, something that, yes, started off as bad luck there turned into good luck. Sometimes at competitions, you can come away and feel like you've had the worst show ever and it's been total bad luck. But then when you start to think it through, you actually start to piece bits that think, well, actually, I learned quite a lot. So even though that show jumping around wasn't my best, I learned a lot from it. The horse learned a lot, and I realised where I need to improve and things I need to do to make it better. And so actually, some of that is good luck. Sometimes you have to just reevaluate bad luck and see if you can find the good in it. As I say, not a particularly easy thing to do, but people that are lucky tend to be very good at this, and they don't dwell on the bad luck. So I'm definitely going to try and incorporate that into life, and that when things aren't going quite to plan, not to dwell on it, and to believe that things will change, my fortune will change, and things will improve. That is the end of this vlog. I hope you've enjoyed it. I have found it absolutely fascinating researching it. If you want to find out about any more of it, but in much more detail, then again, it's The Luck Factor by Richard Wiseman, and it is really interesting. It gets you thinking, that's for sure. I think if I'm going to take anything away from it, that a lot of it's common sense, and I need to be more social and more open to just chatting to people. I mean, like I said, I'm quite a naturally shy person, and so I think I can be quite reserved, and I want to try and be a little bit more open to opportunities and not be afraid of them. Definitely listen to my gut more, and just try and make more connections and network more, because you never know the chance opportunities you might get from it. It might lead me on a completely different path, which might get to my end goal. You just never know. So it's definitely got me thinking, and I think another thing is to try not to dwell on bad luck. I'm really bad for that, and I think the fact is that, by accepting it, working out where you can learn from failure or bad luck or whatever it might be, and then moving on is a much healthier way to be. I do believe that maybe we can be a little bit luckier if we incorporate some of these principles into our life. So yeah, as I say, I hope you've enjoyed this video.